Hi, I'm Neil, and welcome to Wise Guides, where we give your team our best practices so you can get the most out of using SideOwl. Today I'll be helping you with the video with just trying to understand how we can import devices not only to the correct plan, but more importantly to the specific spot within the plan. And in order to do this, we have to leverage the coordinates field. So if you're not familiar with coordinates or are not familiar in general with just how to import or export, this may be a little too advanced for you. I suggest you going to the knowledge base and searching for the article that tells you how to import and export devices in general. That has a guide and a step-by-step list for you to be able to import devices. Once you become familiar with how to import, you can then work on importing to the correct spot using coordinates. I've set this up by putting 4 devices down so that you know exactly where your limits are, so you know not to go beyond these devices. Otherwise, you'll be in this white area. And the way it works is the top left corner is closer to 0, 0. So the longitude and latitude of both is closer to 0, 0. Whereas the bottom right corner is going to be closer to 100, 100 because that is the coordinates for here. So the way it goes is it reads, the first reading is left to right, left being closer to 0, right being closer to 100. And then it reads the second one, which is top to bottom, top being closer to 0, and bottom being closer to 100. Some people think the top should be closer to 100, but it's top closer to 0, bottom closer to 100, left closer to 0, right closer to 100. So once you put this here, you'll know exactly kind of what your limits are. And then from there, you can export with whatever columns you want. I've already done this step, so then you can go ahead and start adding this part of your import. So the first thing I'll do is I'll add all the necessary information. So I'll make sure I have the correct project ID and plan ID. If you're doing this directly into live sites, you can skip the project ID. You don't need that. For the device name, you'll make sure to put new and then a unique number afterwards. So like new 1 works or new 2 works. And then I'll do 2 readers. I'll do a north reader and a south reader so we can kind of compare and contrast the difference between the two. And then for this, I'll do access control because I'm putting down a reader for both. We'll do access control, and then we'll do a card reader. And then I'll also put in a part number. So let's do RP40, and then we'll do HID. Copy those both over. And then here's where we can put in our coordinates. So as you can see, the first number is going to be your left to right reading, and then the second number is going to be your up and down reading. So you can see that for both my west devices, so both for northwest and southwest, the first number is a little bit lower. And then for my east devices, the first number is a little bit higher. And then you can see the same thing for my north and south readings. So my south is a little bit higher. South is a little bit higher. And then my north is a little bit lower. So north is lower here. So for this reader, if I want to do just north in the middle, what I'll do is something like 50. So that I know that this is kind of in the middle, east, left to right, and then I'll do something like 25, which is closer to 0, so I know this is at the top. Remember, top is closer to 0, bottom is closer to 100. So for my next reading, I'll do closer to the middle again, but this time I'll do something like 75 for my bottom reader. And so now I know these will both be kind of in the middle. This will be at the top, and this will be at the bottom. Because remember, I don't want to go past the quadrants here. So I don't want to go past 79, and I don't want to go under 22, otherwise I'll be off the map. Those are kind of my limits there. Once I've done this, I can save it, and then I can import this back in. And then once I import this in, I'll be ready to just check the correct spot. So I'll go ahead and import this in. Go ahead and choose this file here, import it in, and once it takes, I can click on the plan itself and verify that it's in the correct spot, and voila. This was a SideOwl Wise Guides video series where we explore SideOwl best practices. Thank you for joining us.